Welcome to a Team KNK tutorial brought to you by Beyond Measure. We're using Make the Cut cutting software. Click on Basic Shapes, type in Circle in the search, and select to place on your mat. Conclude what size your circle should be and size accordingly. Next, we will go up to Edit so that we can duplicate many circles on our mat of the same size. There's no fear when you're working with Make the Cut software because if you make a mistake, you just go up to Edit and undo it. So play around with the numbers, get the spacing that you would like to have. Oh my goodness, just cut it out. Next, I would like the asterisk shape to go in between the circles. So I realize I need to do something with the spacing of my circles. So I need to reverse the process in which I just went through. Click on Edit and Undo until you are at the place in which you need to be. And redo the spacing. That's just right. You would think that the same spacing would work for the asterisks, but it doesn't. So I need to go up here and change the spacing of my asterisks. Apply and bring them over to see if they're the way they need to be. I think this is just what the doctor ordered. Now I want to align and space, but take a look at what happens. That one's not correct. Let's go to the other one, the vertical one. Oopsie, I hit the wrong button. And there again, the horizontal was not the one we needed either. Okay, let's give 3 cheers for the undo in our edit section. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Oh, cut it out. Once your shapes arrive at their final destination, join them all together. I went ahead and broke these apart so that I can get everything onto the cutting surface, then join them again. I cut these on my over-the-top Klik and Kut Zing electronic cutting machine with a force of 33 times 2. Look at how beautifully the Zing cut this vinyl. I'm using a pick or a weeding tool to weed the vinyl. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise! We've just created a cutting template for my Zumba Convention t-shirt. But of course, you could use the same technique in creating a card, in creating a polar fleece item like a scarf. This is the transfer tape, and I trimmed a portion of the design in which I needed for the front of my shirt. Just like applying vinyl to anything, you'll need to use a popsicle stick or tongue depressor to rub it firmly onto the transfer tape. Is it a must to use transfer tape? Well, no, but my goodness, it makes life a lot easier. My shirt is a bit wider than 12 inches, so I'm going to have to go back to my template that I cut and trim off a little bit to add to the side. No problems. Remove a little bit of the transfer tape and my design, and then get placement correct and adhere. It appears as if there's only a little portion of an asterisk on the additional piece. But no worries, we'll handle that later. For placement, another reason why I love the transfer tape. Adhere to shirt by rubbing firmly. Remove the transfer tape, and while doing so, place your other free hand upon the shirt, holding it kind of as if you were removing a band-aid from the skin. This is a self-healing rotary cutter mat, and I'm using a rotary cutter in my hand to cut the actual shirt. You may find a different technique that works best for you, but for me, I went along 1/2 of every design and then flipped it over and did the other half because this enabled me to achieve a closer cut to my template. Will you just cut it out already? Note, when you enjoy and or have patience in cutting this design, it goes so very quickly. But when you allow yourself to look at it from a different perspective, well, it can be very daunting. My preference on cutting tools is the rotary cutter for this project, but you don't have to. You can use scissors, just as I did right here with the Tonic Scissors by Tim Holtz. Being careful to trim as close to the template as possible. I cut a bit of an X in the middle of this asterisk design to enable me to get my scissors more close to the template. Make sure that you're really careful with all of these blades. We don't want any cut fingers. You are just going to love this cut it out technique. Woohoo, we're on the home stretch. Now it's time to remove the vinyl very carefully, or else you could really stretch out your design and make a teeny bit of a mess of it. Take your time. I guarantee you won't be sorry. And now it's time to get to that little asterisk over there. Just line up a scrap piece of the template, and there you go. Cut it out already. Thanks to Make the Cut software and my over-the-top K&K Zing cutting machine for this wonderful cut it out technique. It adds such a great and feminine touch to my Zumba t-shirt. A word of caution though, everybody will want one. Be blessed beyond measure.